Good morning. A lot of people have asked me, how does the wing work? How does the airplane fly? This is the way the wing works. Now, before we get into the wing, let's talk about airplane etiquette. If your friend says, come out Saturday and we're gonna go flying in my plane, okay? When you go out there, first thing people want to do is touch the plane, touch the plane, touch. You never touch a plane, especially somebody else's plane. You just never do it. That is very bad etiquette. The first thing everybody wants to touch is the propeller. Everybody wants to touch the propeller. That's the most dangerous thing on the plane. You can't be touching that propeller. Now back to the wing. The way the wing works, and you probably can't see it when you're looking at a real airplane. The way the wing is curved, when it hits the air at a certain speed, the air going over the top is going faster than the air going over the bottom. So that makes a low pressure, and that produces a suction that lifts the plane up. Trying to understand that in your brain, just don't even try to worry about it. But that's how the wing works. When it gets to a certain speed, the air going over the wing is going faster. So that makes a low pressure, which pulls it up. The same thing with a propeller. The propeller is just a wing. It's a spinning wing. It works the same thing. In a helicopter, the rotor blades, it's just a wing. It's the wing spinning. So that's the way the wing works. Same thing on a big jet. Now, a big jet has to have a bigger wing and a longer runway because it's so much weight. But your average Cessna like this weighs basically 2,800 to 3,200 pounds. So it doesn't need as big of a wing. But just remember, the air going over the top is faster than the air going over the bottom once you get to speed that makes the wing efficient. Now, this plane can climb like this, but it's not going to climb like this because the motor's not strong enough. It's not a F-18, it's a Cessna 172. So the wing and the air going over the wing is flowing nice, and it's flowing nice here. But if you get it here, the air is no longer going over the wing, and the wing stalls. And that's what makes the plane stall. So that's the way the wing works. Now, back to the propeller. The propeller is just a spinning wing. The first thing everybody wants to touch when they say there's the propeller, propeller, propeller. You can never touch the propeller. Here's why. People want to rub their hands on a propeller. If a rock hits it and there's a little nick in it and you rub your finger on it, you will be getting stitches in your finger. The job of a pilot on the pre-flight is to inspect the propeller and lightly rub his hands on the edges to make sure there's no big nicks. If you just do this, you will slice your finger and you will be getting stitches. Never touch the propeller. Another reason to touch the propeller, the engine, once you start it, it's got two magnetos. So if you lose your battery, the engine will still run because it's getting its spark off a magneto. And if there's a broke magneto in there and you hit the propeller, it'll crank. So you can never touch that propeller. Never, 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 never touch the propeller. So that's the basic etiquette when you walk up to a plane. Don't touch it. Don't touch the back. Don't set stuff on it. You just never touch somebody's plane, and you never want to touch that propeller. So that's the way the wing works. A lot of people have asked me. One time I was in Toronto, and we were picking up passengers, and I had my uniform on. So I asked the guy in the little cart riding around, I said, take me over there there was an Airbus and there was a 787. There's an Airbus 380 and a 787. And they were sitting beside 747s. They made the 747 look small. So I asked the guy in the cart, I was in my uniform, I had all my badges and stuff. I said, take me over there. I want to stop in front. I'm going to get out and take a selfie and bring me right back. So he did. And if you look on my glensflighttraining.com, you can see the photo. The wing, the size of the wing on the Airbus 380 is 17 foot. Right here at the root, it's 17 foot. It tapers off smaller, but that's how big that wing is. You got to be picking up a lot of speed with a lot of power to get a plane that size flying. This plane here, once you get to 65, you got enough air going over the wing that it's going to fly. That's the way the wing works. Any more questions you have, send me a message and I'll make a video on it. The GPS approach is coming up next. Thanks.